and welcome to AWS Julie. For today's video, we are continuing with our new series on needed AWS fundamentals to ensure you pass your AWS certification exams. For this lesson, I want to do a high-level overview of Amazon RDS. We will be diving deeper into the AWS database services and other lessons, but for this fundamentals series, I wanted to first add fundamentals for the core services in AWS. Another fundamental needed to be a solutions architect and for the AWS certification exams is databases. What is a database? A database is a system that stores and manages data. There are several different types of database systems. There are also different ways to store data, how to manage that data, and more. Database systems can be broken up into relational database systems and non-relational database systems. For this lesson, I want to cover Amazon's relational database service, and that is Amazon RDS. A relational database is similar to a spreadsheet. Amazon RDS has tables, rows, and columns, and another important thing to know about relational databases is that they have a schema. Each table has a schema that defines a fixed layout for each row, and every row needs to have all of the attributes and correct data types. So relational databases in Amazon RDS have a structure for their data, and that structure is known as a schema. And the schema is defined in advance. Relational databases organize their data into tables and link the tables together based on relationships. And they use the structured query language or SQL to query the data in the database. Amazon RDS is a managed service, so you can provision an RDS database without the administration of the management overhead. RDS supports the following engines: MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, Oracle, Microsoft SQL, and also Amazon Aurora, which we will cover in an upcoming lesson. There are two main features for RDS. First is multi-AZ. So remember we talked about the AWS well-architected framework and the pillars earlier in this fundamental series. And with Amazon RDS, you can deploy an RDS database instance in a single availability zone or in a multi-AZ for more resilience and high availability. And a cool feature of multi-AZ is if there is a failure or your database goes down, AWS will automatically update the DNS address from pointing to your primary instance to point to the secondary database instance in the other availability zone. So with multi-AZ configuration, your failover is automatic. The second feature is that you can add read replicas to add more performance to your database. Let's look at how read replicas work. And in this example, we have an EC2 instance pointing to our RDS primary instance. Every time this primary RDS instance is written to, then that write is replicated to our read replica. And if our primary instance goes down, there is no automatic failover like there is for multi-AZ configuration. You actually have to go in and manually update the DNS name. But read replicas can improve performance if you have a lot of read requests hitting your database. And it also helps if your primary database is getting too many reads. This helps to scale the application, the website, blog site, and so on that you might be using, because when you add a read replica, the read replica can handle most of the reads for that application or blog or website. And you can scale out, so you can scale horizontally and have up to 15 read replicas depending on the database engine. There are also three types of storage for RDS instances: general purpose SSD, provisioned IOPS SSD, and magnetic. And the cost of your RDS instances will depend on the instance size chosen, the provisioned storage not used, the IOPS used if you're using IO1, your data transferred out, and also any backups or snapshots. For securing your database instances, you can also configure and add security groups. You can encrypt your database during creation, and you can add encryption by taking a snapshot, encrypting that snapshot, and then creating a new database instance from the encrypted snapshot, and you can copy encrypted snapshots between regions. Once encrypted, that encryption cannot be removed, and it is best practice to have your read replicas match your instance encryption. If you found this content useful, a like and a subscribe would mean a lot to me. It really helps me know what y'all like, and it gives me an indicator that I'm building useful content. Now in the next lesson, we'll cover another core AWS service, and that is Amazon DynamoDB. Thanks so much for watching.